What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of the Hillside Club. I'm James Martin III. Sitting alongside me is Rob Cardini. And man, oh man, no hot takes, just real ones. But March delivers again.
Unbelievable.
It delivers again, and I'm genuinely speechless. I got no words for what we just saw yesterday.
Still can't process it. I still cannot process that shot from Braylon Mullins. It might have been one of the greatest shots I think we've ever seen in our lifetime, no doubt. I was trying to think of shots this morning when I was in the shower, thinking like, what shot was better.
Jenkins is obviously number one, but I was seeing people online arguing. It's like, is this top 10? It's obviously top 10. Then everyone in the comments was like, it's either top 5 or top 3. I think it's top 3 for sure.
All of basketball or college?
I'm college.
Okay.
Basketball, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, in our lifetime, I would say the Jenkins shot, no doubt. The Kyrie shot, Game 7 versus the Warriors. I'm talking all basketball.
All basketball, okay.
I can't think of another one.
Mm.
Like I'm probably
Kawhi, bounce around, send him to the next round.
I think Braylon's is better. I really do.
No, I think that's a crazy situation.
Like it's Duke UConn, the bluest of bloods. They haven't played in over 10 years. Trip to the Final Four on the line. All Duke has to do is hold the ball. They don't. Tipped. He gets it. He gives up the ball.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he passed it. Like to have the composure to actually get the ball back. Like he's probably thinking with that little time, once he passes the ball, there's no way I'm getting it back.
Yeah.
But he does in rhythm from half court. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Like it was so pure. I don't know. I still cannot process that shot went in. I cannot process that they actually came back and won the game.
You know what shot I was thinking of that could also be up there? It's another UConn shot that a lot of people kind of remember. I think if you're a UConn fan, but 2016, the American Conference Tournament for Cincinnati, Jalen Adams, that 3/4 court shot.
Yeah.
I remember my house almost exploded watching that. That was insane. But no, I genuinely think I went to bed last night watching that video 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it was incredible.
Unreal.
The play, the shot, the reactions from everybody. I mean, Dan Hurley's getting in the face of a ref. I mean, he's a lunatic, but
I mean, the best part of this is scrolling up and down X and seeing like salty Duke fans. The best part was listening to the Duke radio call.
Oh my Lord.
It's just a pathetic call.
Talking about should have been a tech about Malachi Smith, who was actually on the court the entire play, but I guess they didn't realize that he was one of the 5 people on the court.
He's looking at Malachi Smith or he's mixing up with someone else.
Probably.
But Smith and Mullins were the ones that tipped the ball. They altered the pass. So, I don't know. Yeah, that was just insane. And as an announcer, aren't you supposed to be like a little, unbiased? Like
not a little. You're supposed to be regardless.
I don't know. That was just insane. He just shot goes in, you monotone, nothing.
Yeah.
He goes,
that should be a tech.
And then Malachi Smith is on the court. That should be a tech. Oh my gosh.
That's Duke. That's Duke for you. This is why everyone wanted them out of the tournament.
It's beautiful to see. It really is.
They played a great team. Duke is a really good basketball team. There's no doubt. I mean, their defense was suffocating UConn's offense for a good portion of the game.
Yeah.
Although I will say, like, at halftime, the narrative of, like, halftime show was like, oh, Duke's defense is just too much. Their size, their athleticism, just too much for UConn's, their sets, everything. They're switching everything. My question is, if UConn just hits 3 more threes in the first half, they're only down 6 at the half. Then no one's saying that. Like, and they had open looks. So to me, like, you can analyze the game as much as you want. It really just came down to the fact that UConn was 1 for 18 from 3 at one point. Like, I think it's as simple as that. Like, if UConn was hitting their shots, the game would have been competitive the entire time. They find a way to just chip away. So many little plays that will probably go unremembered, like the Terrace Reed steal. Jaden Ross gave them some big minutes where there was a turnover, but then he chased them down and ended up getting a steal there. Like
the solo ball and Caravan runs into the bench, saves the ball, they get a point back. Just so many like moments that are just going to be
2 threes.
Yeah, just like unreal fight from UConn. I got something to say about the months of the year. We're going to go through them real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's January, February, UConn, April, May, June, July. You guys get the gist of things. UConn runs March. All this talk about blue bloods and, Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA, I don't want to hear it anymore. It's UConn. UConn. The men's and the women's. There's a reason they call it the basketball capital of the world. They are both in the Final Four again. UConn's got the longest win streak after the first weekend in the NCAA tournament right now. March is ran by UConn. I don't want to hear about anything else anymore. They do it with different coaches. They do it with different programs, men's, women's. It doesn't matter. UConn is the blue blood. Start figuring it out.
Yeah, what he said, man. I mean, the what everyone knows is January, February, Izzo. Which, listen, Izzo is an absolutely unbelievable head coach. He always seems to put Michigan State in a position to go on a run, but they haven't won anything since 2000. And what I mean by anything is a national title. UConn's got multiple national titles since 2000. They've done it with different coaches, different eras, different players, and they're just still getting it done. And like James said, they're getting it done on, both the men's and women's side. Obviously, we know how dominant the women are. They look like they're going to cruise to another national title. We'll see if they can get for the third time winning both men's and women's. That would be unreal. Absolutely insane. Unreal. Which, I mean, no other school's even done it once. So basketball royalty. The
basketball royalty. I mean,
but Hurley kind of predicted it. I mean, he said back in 2020, he said, listen, teams better get us now because we're coming. And ever since then, they're 17-3 in the NCAA tournament since he said that.
And those first
17-3.
Those first two losses, he didn't even really have the program where he wanted it yet. He didn't have his guys, like that. Those first 2 years is like the book night years, like that. What? This is unreal. What was it? 1 seeds, 134-0.
Went up 15.
Went up 15. I genuinely, I'm speechless. Like, you go down all these stats about this game yesterday and you just watch it over. We just saw one of the most legendary sports moments of our lives.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like the second largest comeback in Elite Eight history.
This is just ridiculous. And then Terrace Reed, just a
monster.
An absolute run he's on right now. Mm-hmm. Like, he is on and I just know he is hoping that they get to meet Michigan in the national championship game. Do you know the type of fire he would come out with if they got to play the team that he left to come over to Stores and play for? I mean, those are what the moments that you wish for, right? You get to prove people that didn't believe in you, right? That, hey, this is what I'm about now. Like, that's awesome, man.
If they play Michigan, Reed's going to go to work. I don't see Mara or Lendeborg guarding him. Like, he's just going to out-physical both of them. I think it'll be... But listen, Michigan's a complete team. But, yeah, no, UConn, that's the story of the weekend. They were absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's one of the best runs in the tournament that you'll ever see. 31 points, 27 rebounds, 3 assists versus Furman. 10 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks versus UCLA. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists versus Michigan State. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 assists, 2 steals versus Duke. I mean, this is legendary stuff. And they've gotten, some really big legacy moments from guys like Karaban had pretty much a legacy game versus Michigan State. Obviously, Mullins has his legacy moment at the end of this game. I mean, UConn is just, it's truly like it's insane. Like, this whole year's been insane. I mean, you look at their non-conference wins so far, even if they don't end up winning at all, like, this is one of the most impressive, seasons that we've really seen from a team that's kind of been up and down, a team that's been, kind of overlooked at times because of their struggles. They've beaten BYU, Kansas, Florida, Illinois, Texas, Michigan State, UCLA, and Duke. Now they have a chance to, beat Illinois for a second time this year, a chance to maybe beat either Arizona or Michigan. I mean,
honestly, Dan Hurley, he might be one of the GOATs. He's a madman. First of all, the decision to not foul immediately, right? I feel like most coaches in that position are gonna foul after the first pass, right? You blitz the first the first inbound pass, you try and get that turnover. After the first pass, it's a foul immediately.
Yeah.
No, everyone else fouls in that situation. Hurley full court presses like a madman, right? That's not coaching, that's not scared coaching. He's coaching to win. He doesn't play scared. He doesn't coach scared. They actually get the turnover they need. And then for them to actually put the hands in the Indiana kid to send them to Indy, like Karaban said in his post-game interview. I mean, this is storyline stuff. This is what you want from March. This is amazing from Hurley, man. Like, it's different. There's levels to this.
I think it just comes down to trust. Like, he trusts his players. They trust him as a coach. I mean, he even talked about how because someone asked him post game, like, why did you ever think about calling a timeout on the once they got the steal? And he just kind of said that, because of how well Duke defends and their size and their ability to switch, he felt like it would be tough for them to probably get a good look off an inbound play. So once he saw, Caravan give it back to Braylon and he was kind of in rhythm moving towards the basket, he was like, I'm just going to trust him to, put up a shot. And as soon as he took it, it looked good from the jump. I mean, from half court, it looked good from the jump.
I feel like a lot of coaches would call a timeout there. As soon as that steal happened,
I don't think you could blame him either.
I don't blame him.
If they called timeout, I would have been okay. Now you got to set up a play for, you could also, because they were only down 2. So like if you call timeout, you could set up any play that you wanted to get a bucket. So a timeout would have been completely valid. But to have the trust in your players, I mean, he didn't hit a shot all game.
That's literally trust. Like, doesn't hit a shot from outside all game. And he lets them go out there with 3 seconds left and do whatever. I mean, they would have had the ball advanced too if he had called a timeout. It would have probably had 2 seconds on the clock. Could have had something go up. That right there, it feels like a miracle. Like, it was just amazing, man. And
amazing.
This Final Four too.
I wanted to just UConn. Obviously, now they have a chance to beat Illinois again. That'll be a really good game. But I want to just talk about Duke for just a little bit before we, kind of move on to looking ahead to the Final Four. So in their last 3 years in the tournament, Duke has led by 11 to 9 seed NC State, lost that game in the Elite Eight. Last year, they lead Houston by 14 with 8 minutes to go and 6 with 35 seconds left in the game. Final Four, trip to the national championship on the line. They lose that game. Obviously, yesterday, lead UConn by 19 points and lose the game. So now, also, it's been 11 years since Duke has played a national title game. Since then, they have signed 36 5-stars. That is the most in the country. The last time, the Duke freshman was in 2nd grade the last time Duke has played for a national title. So, Duke, everybody gave John Calipari a lot of shit for getting the best players and not winning it all for a long time. What are people saying now for Duke? Because they consistently get the best players, they have the best teams, but they are consistently coming up short. And not only coming up short, but they're also choking these games away. So I don't know if you maybe look into, is it time to get rid of John Shire? Are we going to fire John Shire? Do we need maybe a different spark, somebody new? I mean, obviously it's crazy to think that like a program like Duke would, move off of him off that, but I don't think it's that crazy. Like they've been very, underwhelming come the tournament. It's one thing to dominate a weak ACC, during the regular season when you have the best players in the country, but you got to show up in March and you got to go win it all with these squads that they have. I mean, they flip a new roster every single year. Their starting five is always different because that's how much talent they have coming in every single year. Something's got to give. They got to find a way to get over this hump, but UConn wasn't letting them do that.
Here's my thing, though. I think if anybody's considering, getting rid of John Schreier, I think that's crazy. They lost a total of 3 games all year, and you add up the difference in all of those losses.
Stunk.
In all of those losses, they lost by a total of 3 points in all 3 of those games all year, right? I don't think the takeaway from this is that the coach can't win close games. I think it's a matter of, you see all of this talent, right? But at some point, all that talent alone is not enough in March. This has been a tale, I think, as old as time. You got to win with like a foundation. And it's hard to build a foundation with a team when they come in from high school every year and you get maybe 3 months to really get them going, right?
That's coaching, though. That's coaching. Like
harder.
That's the philosophy that he's okay building, where we're just going to have a bunch of star-studded freshmen. And that's it. There's not as much leadership where you see with UConn, where you have, a Caravan and a Reed who are older guys.
But that's what I'm saying. That's not his fault.
Yes, it is. What do you mean it's not his fault?
No, that's not.
How is that not his fault?
If these guys
so the coach is not.
No, Rob,
so recruit differently. Get guys in the portal.
Yes, that is his fault. Recruiting wise, yes. But
that's what I'm saying.
If I'm a Duke fan, I'm not going to stop going for these 5 stars.
No,
He's
okay.
coming out of
That's not what
college.
I'm saying, but building the rest of your roster out differently. Like, okay, you have obviously Boozer. Maybe Sarr's a guy that you really like. Maybe it's, obviously Foster, he got hurt, so it's a little different. But like, the in-between pieces, maybe go get a veteran in the transfer portal that you can feel can really gel the team and you can rely on late in games. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
That's not the thing, though. The thing, look at UConn, right? There's a foundation there. Hurley talks about it all the time with
Because of
Karaban.
Hurley.
Karaban is like a coach on the floor. He says it all the time.
Because of Hurley.
When has a guy at Duke stayed there for all 4 years?
But that's you deciding that's how you want to build your roster.
They end up leaving. Karaban didn't have the opportunity to go to the league, right? So he stays and he also builds with Hurley.
Build through the portal. I don't know.
But you build through the portal. You're plugging in another piece like you are plugging in. It's the same thing. You're plugging in a piece from high school. You're plugging in a piece
from the veteranship that they have.
Agreed. I agree with that. But I don't think you get rid of Schreier because of what just happened. This team was that's one of the best teams. Like that was, I think, 2 of the best teams in college basketball. Just because they lost that way doesn't mean Schreier's a bad coach, or he doesn't mean he deserves to.
Bad coach.
I think if you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff and you go in their huddle, the stuff that comes out of his mouth, just like, he is a very smart guy. He is a very, I think he's a great leader. Like the players love him, right? I don't think it's a matter of that, but I understand. Like, it's the same thing with Kentucky and Calipari. It's in moments like that. We saw it last year versus Houston. These young guys, they just tend to make mistakes. And the coach himself can't be out there on the floor making decisions, like literally holding on to the ball for Caden Boozer in that moment, right? Like, as much as I can't stand Duke and the Duke history and all of that, and the Duke whistle, first of all, we haven't even touched that. That was just ridiculous in the first half of that game. But as much as I can't stand that, I don't think this goes against Schreier. Like UConn just had way more determination down the stretch, and that comes with experience, right? Like that comes with, I'm sure the message in that locker room was, we're not out of this, right? They went on their run, we go on our run, and we're right back in it, which happened, right? But with younger guys, you see they start to get a little frantic. Their decision making is a little different. You see guys were just, trying to go one-on-one. Like I saw Isaiah Evans hit the floor one time. Boozer hit the deck one time. Just random turnovers. That Terrace Reed turnover or steal and dunk. Like those moments happen when there's no composure with younger guys. And I'm not going to take that away from Schreier. Like, yes, I'm not going to stop recruiting these 5 stars coming out of high school that are going to be lottery picks, because at the end of the day, they are high talents. I do understand the whole fact of, yes, maybe we need to either build a foundation around getting guys to stay here longer, or you go in the portal and you go pick up some older guys. But at the end of the day, when you got a guy like Karaban on the floor, you got a guy like Jaden Bradley on the floor that's been in the game for 4 years, that's been on the team for 4 years, that changes it. That's an extension of the coach on the court. So I don't know. I just think, the college basketball is changing right now, and it's going to be even harder to build a foundation than it was before. But coaches are going to have to change up their recruiting tactics.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit overreaction. I just think that Duke, push comes to shove, they have to find a way to win a national title before. I don't think sooner than later.
It'll never happen with the way they recruit. Like, it's done. That if it was going to happen, it needed to happen before the transfer portal rules changed in, I think it was 2022, 2021. Now it's over. If they weren't going to win with any of those younger teams, those Grayson Allen teams before, it's over now, because now guys are going to leave. I mean, half of Duke's team will be in the draft. So,
yeah, you're going to have to adapt or die.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Final Four is set. It's going to be an absolutely incredible Final Four. This is, you got 2 1 seeds, a 2 seed, and a 3 seed. I feel like, you couldn't really ask for better matchups. And so obviously you have some cool storylines for the Final Four. Arizona seeking their first national title since 1997. The Big Ten seeking their first title since 2000, with both Michigan and Illinois in the Final Four. Illinois has never won a national title. Michigan last won in 1989. And UConn seeking their 3rd title in 4 years, which doesn't happen often. I don't think it's happened since John Wooden at UCLA. So that'll be a really cool. Well, it's just going to be really cool to see how it all plays out. Obviously, I think right now, if you had to say, Arizona, Michigan, 2 best teams in the country. That's just the way they look. Good on good.
Yeah.
My thing for that game is that Arizona, they can shoot the 3 when they want to. They just don't do it as much. But does that hurt them? Because Michigan will shoot the 3. Like they have no problem shooting the 3. They shoot it well. Is that what kind of propels Michigan past Arizona? I don't know.
You watched that Michigan game, and it felt like Tennessee was a JUCO team. No disrespect, but like Michigan just pushed the pace. Like Tennessee, first of all, you got to make shots to get stops because making shots helps you get back on defense and really set up, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee wasn't doing that. And what Michigan was doing, every time they rebounded the ball, it was, all right, let's get down the floor. We're going to push and, we're going to keep jacking threes all we want. It literally looked like they were moving at another speed versus Tennessee. But this Final Four, this feels like a legacy Final Four. Let me ask you this, though. Who do you think is the team to beat in the Final Four? Out of all the 4 teams. I know you got the UConn jersey on.
I mean, the team to beat would have to be Arizona. I think they've been the best team as of late. They won their conference. They've looked good in pretty much all of their games. Obviously they were down at half to Purdue, but came out the half on fire, kind of turned it up defensively. I think it has to be Arizona. I think that if you're talking about team to beat, it's Arizona. But at this point, I think any team can win the national title, just like out of these 4 teams. So, 3 out of the 4 teams are the top 4 are inside the top 4 in KenPom rankings. If Duke had made it, it would have been the top 4 KenPom ranked teams would have been in the Final Four. So, shout out UConn for obviously not letting that happen. Not too much chalk, but UConn Illinois, another really interesting matchup where I actually think UConn playing Illinois is worse for Illinois than seeing Duke because of the way UConn and Illinois have very similar play styles on offense where their pace is very similar. They like to get into the half court, get into their sets. They play very methodic. And I think because of that, it kind of allows for more of a back and forth game, whereas Duke kind of plays with a little more pace. And then, if you can get them out of that pace, does that screw them up? So I don't know. I think it's just going to be very, very interesting. Obviously, UConn won the first matchup versus Illinois. That was early in the season, but they did it once. They can do it again. But at the same time, you could look at it from the perspective of it's hard to beat a team twice sometimes, and Illinois will obviously want to get that revenge on them. So a little extra incentive for them. But
I think with Illinois, it's because all these pieces are new. It took time for them because it feels like they're a different team than what they were at the beginning of the year. Yeah, because one freshman all over the court, right? Even though some of them are older, they come from Europe. Their season is almost like not a roller coaster, but they were building a foundation and they were building this team that is now, I feel like, kind of a unit, right? They play so together. And that's like Rob said, like this Illinois versus UConn matchup will be a chess match. It will. Same tempo, same style. It's gonna feel like a push and pull the whole game. Where Michigan and Arizona, those are the 2 best teams heavyweight. I think it's just gonna be who's who's less sloppy, right? Like who carries out their offense the right way, who's a little more aggressively on defense, which is gonna be that's a heavyweight battle. Yeah. But yeah, with this UConn Illinois, I think we're gonna watch some of the best basketball. I guess methodically, in coaching sense that we've seen in a while on the college level. It'll be a great game. Like I said, this is a legacy Final Four, man. Yeah, this is going to be great. We didn't get to touch on Houston because but we called it. We did. I mean, they were one of our first Who You Foolins earlier this year,
and we still just put. I think we both put too much faith in them.
I should have known.
You had them going to the Natty. I had them coming out of their region, but we should have known. This is what they do every year.
Every year,
it's just. I mean, even they were down for, majority of that game, but it just felt like if they could just hit like 2 shots, that could have been the spark that got them over the edge. And, they put the full court press on and they battled back into the game. I got to give them credit for that. But once again, they just, I don't know. Sampson is just such a good coach. I just feel like he's a guy that you kind of say just deserves to win a national title, but he's got to recruit differently. We have to switch something up with Houston where it's like, I get it. You want that defensive intensity and rebounding and suffocate teams, but at some point you got to just say to yourself, hey, I need somebody that can just go get me a bucket. And they thought they had that this year with Sharp and the freshman that I am blanking on his name. Gosh. Flemings?
Yeah.
Yes, Flemings. And like I feel like maybe they thought that he would be the guy to get them over the edge when they needed a bucket late in games, but that wasn't the case. And they shot horribly, and Illinois made them pay for it. And just another disappointing year for Houston, similar to Duke, honestly.
Like you said, like the recruiting's got to be different, but also, I don't know. I don't like the way their offense. I don't like it. I don't like. Yeah, they do all the little things, the rebounding. They're aggressive on defense, which again, I didn't even feel like that was Houston defensively in that game. I mean, honestly, yeah, they did hold. It was a low-scoring game, which is a real Houston-esque game. But I don't like their offense. Like I feel like when you watch a UConn game, not to continue glazing, but that's what's gonna happen. Like the sets get where the ball where they want it to happen. Like they will get Tears Reed on the block and an isolation, no matter what. Just with their sets, they will get Caravan or Mullins a flare 3. They will get somebody coming off an off-ball screen, downhill alley-oop. Like you watch Houston, and it feels like they're just thugging it out each possession offensively to score. Like, and I just don't like that. Maybe they got to go back to the drawing board. Maybe they got to get a little more in tune with the times of basketball, right? Like a little more modern in a sense, because it just doesn't feel like that's winning 2026 basketball when you watch it. And it isn't whatsoever. But yeah, I don't know. But I kind of have a bone to pick with March Madness or, the NCAA and these media timeouts. Why are we stacking timeouts like it's a commercial marathon?
Money.
Like, I understand that, but if a team calls a timeout, that should cancel out the TV timeout, right? They have the under 16, the under 12, under 8, under 4, right? 4 stoppages and a half. I think that's a lot to begin with. But if a team calls a timeout, right, there's 8 minutes left and 30 seconds on the clock. Team calls a timeout because another team goes on a run. We saw it yesterday. And then they come out, 2 possessions later, it's under 8.
Oh, I was just saying, sorry to interrupt, but there's nothing worse than that. When you see a team call a timeout like 20 seconds before you're getting the media timeout, and you're like,
ball goes out of bounds, a foul.
So I'm going to have to watch, 6 minutes,
6 minutes
commercials in a matter of 10 minutes of actual real time.
One thing I love about soccer is you sit there, you watch 45 minutes, halftime, 45 minutes, game's done. It's amazing. Watching college basketball, as great as it is, March Madness is, I think, second to nothing. Like outside of the World Cup, or it's the World Cup is on another level. But like, March Madness is the greatest, tournament, greatest sports event I feel like in the world, and I feel like it's a commercial marathon. Like at the end of games, sometimes like we don't need a coach calls a 30-second timeout, right? A minute left. Do we seriously need to go to commercial? Can we hear Bill Rafter? Can we hear Ian Eagle and those guys, Grant Hill? Can we hear them talk? They got great things to say. I would love to hear what they have to say. And then yesterday,
that's a good point.
After the game ends, it goes to 60 Minutes immediately on CBS, which I know.
Yeah, the no post-game show after yesterday's game is absolutely incredible. I don't know, like we couldn't have, I guess maybe not on CBS time-wise, like, 60 Minutes needed to run. We couldn't have going on like TBS or CBS Sports had their own thing going on, but like people wanted to hear from Chuck and Kenny, and
would have loved to hear that. Like
I'm blanking on the other guy again. Damn,
Clark Kellogg.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, like I just feel like we were stripped of like what could have been a great halftime show, and I'm sure like yes, if you were able to tune in on CBS Sports, and watch the halftime show, but I feel like it was a secret. Hey, literally. It would have been nice to see like something. Maybe it was up there. I didn't see it. But like, hey, if you want to see the post game show, tune in to CBS Sports to watch. Like nothing. It just felt like they interviewed Mullins, they interviewed Hurley. 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Yeah, it was kind of a wild cut. No doubt. But that's the Final Four. It's set: Arizona, Michigan, UConn, Illinois. UConn women also going to the Final Four. They beat Notre Dame. Gino Auriemma got on the whole NCAA this past weekend. I don't know if you got a chance to catch that. I mean, he got on them about practice schedules and media and having to go to media at 6:37 in the morning. But then or no, it was practice at 6:30 in the morning, but then you have to come back from media in the afternoon. And he was basically saying how the rims in these arenas are brand new and the basketballs are brand new. And they wonder why the shooting percentages of all these teams are so low. And basically, he was leading to the fact that they want to grow the game, the women's game, but when teams are shooting that bad and playing that bad, what he basically said, who wants to watch that? And the attendance was super low. So he really got on the NCAA and basically was saying, I don't know who makes the decisions for this stuff, but they clearly don't know anything about basketball. And to all of you who said that, or just to anybody out there who doesn't think the ball is actually a factor, and you hear people like James and I bring up the ball, and it's kind of like, well, I don't know if that's really the case. When one of the greatest coaches of all time, Gino Auriemma, talks about the ball being a problem and the rims, you listen. It is clearly a problem for the NCAA, and they better do something because this cannot be an issue for another year next year.
Yeah, I mean, what he said, I feel like I feel the same way about a lot of things in life, but a lot of the people that make the decisions up top, it feels like they don't know what's really going on with the decisions they're making and how they really affect the people that these decisions ultimately affect. Like
with sports, yeah, I'd say, definitely with sports, a sport thing.
Worst, yeah, right? It's the worst. But like you look, and he talked about how they had interviews after the game the night before, right?
Oh yeah,
right. And then they had to be back at 6 a.m. for more media. His whole message was, what possibly happened in the 8 hours where they were sleeping for 90% of those hours? What could have possibly changed that you guys didn't have time to ask the night before that you needed to ask this morning?
Already knew the matchup.
Already knew the matchup. Like everything was set. But this is what I'm saying. Like, I can only imagine as a player, you play a long game, you need that sleep. Like, you need that rest, right? And then they only get an hour of practice time. Like, you need to rehab, and you got to be back up for media where they're going to ask you the same stale questions that they asked you before. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But like you said, if Gino's talking about it, I mean, we got to make it. We got to make some changes because that's a legend. 25 Final Fours, and he also had a great quote. He talked about how, it's 25 for me, but it's a first for a lot of the other girls on the team, right? That's legendary stuff. That's a leader. Like, there's a reason why people commit to UConn, right? Like, if they didn't love Gino for who he is as a coach, then they wouldn't go there, right? Like, yeah, it's one thing to wear that UConn across your chest, in women's basketball, but he's a legend, and there's a reason why they all flock to Stores. It's because they know the type of leadership they're going to get out of Gino, right? He's had legends walk through those halls up there at Stores, and he's been able to put out just tremendous basketball for a quarter of a century. Just ridiculous, man.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't even know. That's bad on my part. I'm wearing a Diana Taurasi jersey, and I don't even know who UConn plays. Who do they play next?
Oh, in the Final Four?
Yeah.
Oh, why am I blanking?
They are playing.
UCLA made it.
To be determined. Oh,
because tonight
the game is
South Carolina.
Okay, that's why.
It could possibly be South Carolina, I believe.
Yeah, or Oklahoma. I think one of those two play. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, so I know UCLA and UConn both made it through for the women's, but Duke women's go out, Duke men's go out. And this is it's a great weekend for college basketball fans, man.
If you're a hater, watching was an all-time high. Major League Baseball is back. Opening weekend, opening day, opening night. Have a take on that later. But we saw that there was a little overreaction to Paul Skeens and Aaron Judge's first performance of the season. Skeens gets pulled in the first inning. Aaron Judge, 4 strikeouts, first game of the season. Everybody's up in arms. Aaron Judge is back with, he's already got 2 homers the next 2 games. Yankees, they got a sweep to start the season. They have moved up James' leaderboard over the Knicks. I'm not entirely sure why. Because
the Knicks
this is what the Yankees, I guess, maybe it's more so the Knicks coming down than the Yankees going up. But if you ask me, the Yankees, I'm not jumping on any like hype train right now. They took care of business. The pitching, I was never worried about the pitching coming into this year. Schlittler looks like an ace. I'm really excited about
he's
that.
Gonna be good.
But other than The first game, offense still very spotty. I think at the next 2 games, their offense only came in like 3 innings.
Yeah.
And of course, all courtesy of the home run per usual with the Yankees. So I'll keep my expectations tempered with them, of course, because it's just the same old stuff. And obviously, on day 2, after playing and getting a day of rest, we obviously had to switch the lineup right away and not develop your first baseman that you're hoping is for the franchise. But again, that this is every year now with Boone and Cashman, the duo. So Yankees 3-0, happy for that. We'll see what happens come the playoffs if they make it. What I really wanted to talk about with MLB weekend was 2 things. One, Mike Trout looks like he's healthy. He looks like he could win an MVP this year. And I want Aaron Judge to win 3 in a row. Historic. It would be awesome. If Mike Trout wins another MVP and he finds a way to get it done, I will be ecstatic as a fan. I mean, growing up, he was one of my favorite athletes and probably not a better guy in the sport to root for. Really, really hope he can sustain this for a full season, doesn't get hurt.
I mean, yeah, Mike Trout, he looks like Mike Trout again. And I feel like baseball needs that, right? We need our stars healthy. And when he's healthy, he's still one of the best players on the earth. So you kind of like forget how good he is. And then you see it again. It's like, oh my goodness, right? He's got 3 MVPs and then 10 All-Star selections. He's starting the season off on a really strong start. So, I mean, I hope he can keep it up too. Like you said, that's one of the guys you can root for. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees, 3-0 start. We're on top of the world. It's kind of how it was last year. I remember it like it was yesterday because it feels like it was. But we were still in college and we were watching them go crazy versus the Brewers. I feel like that was the first week of the year.
It was the second game of the year.
They were just hitting. What was it?
19-7?
Back-to-back home runs. I think it was Goldschmidt, Judge, and Bellinger.
It don't matter.
Something like that. There was grand slams left and right. It was great. We'll see what happens come October. Hey, I mean, everyone. You saw Jazz Chisholm's comments about there's a reason they're running it back because they feel everyone in house and in the organization felt like this was the team to get it done. And Rob has his feelings about that. I don't know how I feel about it, but we'll see. Can they be a factor come October? And a lot of Yankee fans think, hey, this is our year. I'm seeing online there's a little discourse around, hey, let's get behind these guys. And I will never not get behind the Yankees, right? Like I grew up like bleeding pinstripe blue and white. Like this is what it is for me. But a lot of fans are starting to get a little restless. What's gonna happen come October? So. It's a long season. They opened their campaign up on a great start. I hope, that they can actually get some great momentum going in October and really make a push and, prove me wrong. I don't know. Right now, I have no expectations.
How'd you feel about the ABS challenge system now being in effect? How'd you feel about that?
It's
because
I'm torn.
No. I'm torn because this is something that I don't think anybody has brought up. Maybe they have. I just haven't seen it because it definitely hasn't been talked about on a national level.
Yeah.
So Major League Baseball basically just solves a problem to what many was a problem of how slow the game feels for them. Like baseball, a lot of people feel like they can't get into baseball and watch baseball because it just feels too slow. So they add the pitch clock. It speeds up the game. Is this challenge system going to take away from that too much? Because obviously, it's not like it's going to be used every at bat. It's not like it's probably going to be used every half inning. But when it does get used, it takes, that time away where, it does start to feel like the game slows down a little bit. And obviously, you want the technology to be good, so you don't want to rush it. But is it going to be something where as the season progresses, get players feel more comfortable challenging stuff. Whereas right now, maybe they're still getting used to it being in effect. And maybe there's guys that don't want to be the person that's tapping their helmet and challenging a call and it being the right call. And then you look like an idiot for challenging. So, but then as you get more comfortable as the season progresses, is it taking too much time to do so? That's my only concern with it because I'm sure the players love it. Salvador Perez, he was absolutely cooking with the challenge system. I think he overturned 3 calls himself I think it's going to be a great tool for catchers like him who have a incredible feel of the strike zone. Batters probably will float around like 50% for the year if I had to guess. I just think it's harder to tell with especially how much movement is on pitches these days. But catchers will probably have a really good feel for it. But so listen, I think it's great that they have the opportunity to do this. But my one concern is, will it come to a point where it starts to feel like it's slowing the game down?
Here's my thing, though, right? I think it fixed one of their biggest problems and was that consistency with umpires. MLB players know the zone better than anybody. I think they know the zone better than umpires do. They know their zone, right? There's a reason why they take certain pitches, right? I think you get accuracy without slowing the game down because on the flip side, the challenge takes about 15 seconds, right? But it replaces those arguments we see where managers come out and they argue with the umpire. And, there's situations where we saw over the weekend with CB Buckner and those challenges, right? Like, what do we got? Like, what's going on here? I think I think they need to add more challenges to just prove and get these umps on the right foot, right? Because I know my zone. If I'm a batter, right, I know my zone, and you're gonna take away a pitch from me, and I know it was clearly a ball, and that's why my whole argument is, I think we just need to go to automatic refs, or we need to have an earpiece in it and completely take out this human error when calling the zone if we got the technology. I know people hate that.
I don't love that just because also even with ABS, like whereas like in tennis, like we've gotten so used to like if just a sliver of the ball touches that line, it's in.
But why not be right?
I don't know. There's just some times where it's like that sliver is going to get people so mad. Like you're going to see a ball that is 99% out of the strike zone, but that 1% is going to keep it a strike. And I think people are going to absolutely hate that, especially
think about if you're thinking about it from a batter standpoint, but think about the pitcher. He knows that pitch was a great pitch. He knows it's a strike. That helps him. Why not be right 100% of the time instead of being right 80% of the time, right? Like I think that's what we need. Like that in tennis, it's like back then when a line judge would get it wrong, you'd be like, no way. And they only had 2 challenges and they had to challenge. Now, when it's out, you can't be frustrated because it's out. It's out. It's not like it could have been in, it looked in, it was out. So why not, be accurate 100% of the time? I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I think getting this accuracy without fully slowing down the game is kind of a sweet spot for them.
We'll never have a strike 3 call again. We're never going to get come on.
Well, no, we'll still get it because I think how they should do it is they should have an earpiece in like we do, right? And it'll be like a strike, ball, and then it happens immediately, right? And then we'll still get the antics, right? It will still get the feel.
You're gonna feel like idiots standing there, but
no, yeah, I mean that's essentially what it is. But unless they want to just get rid of the umpire and have it like call it out like they do in tennis, which I think is kind of gross.
Yeah,
but
see,
I don't know, man. I love it. I love it for the players because they win a little bit of power. They can trust themselves a little more in the batter's box and on the mound without an umpire sitting back there just completely taking a game away from a guy. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think regardless of even like how I feel about it, just saying, will it slow down the game? I think that it's just another thing that MLB is doing to help their game, help the players, and just really try to make the most enjoyable experience for fans and players both, where they're taking some swings, and I feel like they're hitting a couple home runs. The NBA, they're taking a lot of swings on things. They're striking out a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the NBA, I saw a question from the Bill Simmons podcast. So shout out Bill Simmons. Great listen to as always. And they had the question on their podcast. I don't even want to get into the NBA. Not right now. We're going to stick to college basketball. The NBA is the NBA. Teams are doing their thing. We will get into that soon enough. But the question I had for you is, so would you rather have Victor Wembanyama right now or the first 2 picks in this year's NBA draft?
Wembanyama.
Okay, the first 3 picks.
Gosh. Are you saying just like as a franchise, or are we speaking like is this the Knicks? Because like if it's the Knicks, I still want Wembanyama.
The first 4 picks.
That's tough.
I think this is where the conversation actually starts. I think once you get to 4, you're building a legit roster and lineup. I think 4, I would say 4. 5,
you can take
5 is a given. I think if you get 5 for you get the first 5 picks, I think you have to do that.
This is one of the best drafts we've ever seen.
This is why
the Bonsta 1, Peterson 2, Acuff 3, and then 4.
It's kind of
who was a
choosing.
big that was like dominant this year that would come out the draft?
Cameron Boozer.
I'm not taking 4th pick. I'm sorry.
Got no bag.
I no bag. He's a bagless Paulo Banchero. I don't care. Hate me if you want. I would not
say
not NBA stuff there.
Well, Wagler's a pretty big guard. I don't know. Then you're kind of too many guards in one area. But
I think you get a 1, a 2, and a 3 with those first 3 picks. I mean, I know Kobe Pete was good. I don't know, but he's like a 4.
I still think with the 4 picks, you could find a guy that you're like, yeah, it's probably more valuable than just having Wemby. Like if you had to decide.
Wemby, we're watching.
The fact that this is a question, though, that's the point. The fact that you're debating what you would do, even Bill Simmons, when they were running through it, I think they got to 4, and 4 was the number for them. Yeah. The fact that it's even a question just goes to show how good Wemby is right now.
I genuinely think 20 years from now, Wembanyama will be in the top 4 conversation all time. Like I saw a stat, and it was like,
better get some rings.
Of course, but ring culture and everyone talks about it.
He's got to win a couple.
He's gonna win. He will win a couple. He might win one this year.
Oh yeah, no
we
doubt.
know. But I mean, the core, they pair up Stephon Castle and Victor Wembanyama. That's one of the best defensive two-way pairs we've seen in the NBA in a while. And they are both still so young. Like, this is genuinely scary stuff for the NBA. Mm-hmm. The Spurs are going to go on another run. And the fact that they kind of have the number of the best team in the West too, they're 3-1 versus the Thunder. This is a little scary. You watch videos of Wemby, people again, it feels like we're watching young LeBron. Him walking into the tunnel, you see fans just gather around like it's a legend in the making. I'm telling you right now, if we could somehow make a time capsule and put this in it, 20 years from now, Wembanyama will be in GOAT conversations. And it'll be the younger generation that'll be like, oh my gosh, Jordan couldn't hold Wemby's jock, something like that. It's going to be that way.
Probably will.
And the dude is 7'4", and he can handle the ball. And then he can score on every level. This is like 2K. It's like you're making a demigod on 2K. I genuinely, I have no words for, and he's young, he's a leader, he's proven that he hates losing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you see how it eats at him. He's got all the makings of a legend, and I don't know. It's a tough question. It's a tough question. I don't know. If I'm going to put myself here, if it's the Knicks, do we want the first 4 picks, or do we want Wembanyama? You know how I feel about Karl-Anthony Towns right now.
Yeah,
you give me Victor Wembanyama, the Knicks win it all.
I guess. Yeah, the part of the question, I didn't listen to the entire podcast. I saw the clip. I don't know what scenario. Maybe it's you're the worst team in the league. Like, you're about to have the number 1 through 4 different pick. You're not like the Knicks, because then definitely listen. If you're definitely if you're the Knicks, you go with Wemby, no doubt. I mean, I think that's.
But if you're like the Blazers or the Wizards,
you got to go.
I take the first 3, honestly.
I think it's 4.
Tough.
I think it's 4.
It's still tough.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I would say 4. But that's Wemby for you. He's making these conversations interesting. Absolutely about it player. With that being said, let's get into our about it, not about it of the week. I have a feeling that our about it of the week, both of ours, are going to be very similar. I don't really have much to say for mine. It's very simple. It's Braylon Mullins. Just simply about it. UConn battles back into the game. He gets the ball off the tip pass, gives it up, gets it back in rhythm from the parking lot. Bang. Nothing but the bottom of the net. It was so pure. He was ice cold all game from three. Biggest moment of the game, gets a look, and it was absolutely barbecue chicken from way downtown. Braylon Mullins is my bat of the week. I have a feeling James is going to be pretty similar.
Yeah. Like, dude. Can we just hear it real quick? UCONN. UConn. I said it earlier. Everyone knows it. UConn is the basketball capital of the world. Right now, they run the table, all right? Men's and women's. College basketball doesn't just run through stores. It lives there. It really does. Both have Final Four appearances. 2 titles in the last 3 years for the men. The women can do the same. I mean, they just pulled off one of the most elite 8 comebacks ever. Right? We saw that stat 134-0, went down 15. And they pulled it out. And if you're talking hoops in 2026, you're talking UConn, period. I don't even want to hear anything else. Right? You've got the men chasing a dynasty. You've got the women building arguably the greatest dynasty in all of sports. And I again, this is one of those things where I just kind of get speechless thinking about this and talking about it because, like, this isn't a run. This is just a full program takeover. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Dynasty.
College football runs through, or college basketball runs through stores, and I mean, 11 national championships, right, for the women. They've made 15 straight Final Four appearances. They're the consistent number 1 seed and a contender every year. Gino, 25 Final Four appearances. Their program winning percentage is over 85%. Like, I got nothing else to say. I think we need to really have a conversation about blue bloods because they do it in both the men's and the women's side of things. And I think it's no longer a conversation, in my opinion. So take with that what you will. But, hey, UConn isn't just good right now. They're dominating both sides of basketball, and they're doing it at the same time.
There you go. Had a feeling it was going to be UConn, no doubt. My not about it of the week, which honestly already feels like an eternity ago, but Netflix's opening night baseball disaster. If you ask me, it was a complete disaster. I thought it was gross. It had no aura. It did not feel like the first game of the MLB season. It honestly still felt like a spring training why am I blanking on the word? Just whatever, spring training game. And I just, the first game of baseball, first day of baseball should be exactly that. Opening day. All games played during the day. That's the way it should be. It should kick off in Cincinnati, the way it started. Like, this is not, like, don't overcomplicate it. The fact that it was on Netflix, their scorebug felt like MLB The Show. It was massive. It was too video game-like. You have the sponsored ad in the background, which had players looking like a holograph. I didn't mind the announcers one bit. I thought they all did a great job.
Yeah, they were great.
It was cool hearing
Shout out CC.
Yep. But other than that, I thought it was just a complete disaster. I hope they never, ever, ever do that again. There should not be such thing as opening night baseball. It's opening day, and that's it. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, no, honestly, I kind of agree. I feel like there's nothing like a yes broadcast. Like, I felt like that was more of an opening day for me,
yeah.
Right? Like, that felt more. I felt like, all right, baseball season is here. Like you said, that first game, it almost felt, spring training. Like, it kind of felt like spring training. Like, it didn't feel.
It's not football where it's opening kickoff and you know that NBC is going to be covering the game and it's going to be on a night game. It's not the NBA's opening tip where you know it's a night game. Like, no, this is baseball. Opening day, leave it at that. James, you're not about it of the week.
Yeah, my not about it of the week. SEC basketball. I feel like they had a window that lasted about 2 years, Like, we saw SEC hoops just ascend and then, I guess, peaked with Florida basketball last year.
Yeah.
All the hype all year, the SEC kind of got exposed when it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
We heard all year about how deep they were, kind of just right there with the Big 12. And the SEC was down to 4 teams, I believe, in the Sweet 16. We saw Kentucky just escape Santa Clara. Florida just not got manhandled by Iowa, but Iowa controlled the tempo of that game, right? The entire game. Tennessee looking like a JUCO team versus Michigan. Arkansas just got manhandled out the gates versus Arizona. I mean, what happened? And then Bama too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like these were a lot of teams that could have made great runs. And yes, Tennessee, you can say they made a great run. They got to the Elite Eight. But if it's not for Walter Clayton Jr. and his heroics last year versus, those last 3 games, even against UConn, but I believe it was it Texas Tech as well, or that they played last year.
Yeah, Clayton saved them.
If it wasn't for his heroics, are we gonna see another SEC championship, like another national championship from the SEC?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not like a crazy take. I mean, obviously Florida, again, like you said, if Walter Clayton Jr. doesn't go on that historic run, there's probably a good chance that Florida does not get it done. No. And then before that, you'd have to go back to 2012 was the last time an SEC team, Kentucky, won a national title. So obviously this era of SEC basketball, it's not really translating all that well to March.
I thought it was, though. I thought it was. I don't know. And it's not.
Yeah, I mean, they play well. I mean, listen, they go on some great runs. Even Alabama, I don't think a lot of people thought they would lose first round. A lot of people thought Texas Tech would get them, but I don't know. Just to win a national title, it just doesn't seem to work. Their way.
I mean, like you look, and it's kind of happening to SEC football too. I mean,
Big Ten
last
taking
3
over.
years,
Big Ten, baby.
Big Ten's got 2 teams in the Final Four. Indiana football, a known basketball school, just won the national championship in football. Everyone's talking about, hey, now that every team's on the same playing field and we can all pay, these teams up north got money.
Mm-hmm.
They got money. And there's a shift. Stephen A. Smith talked about it. The Big Ten is the best sports conference there is right now.
Yeah.
Hockey, football, basketball.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we got to start having some uncomfortable conversations for you Southerners. Yeah. I don't know.
Speaking of the Big Ten, though, we forgot to bring it up last week on the pod, which is pretty wild. My dad was absolutely appalled that I didn't bring it up when I told him I forgot about it. He thought I was kidding, but Penn State Wrestling won their 5th straight wrestling national title. Now it's, a week ago. Just absolutely dominant. I guess we got too used to the dominance, forgot to even bring it up, but it made it their 13th title in 15 years under Cael Sanderson. That is absolutely unbelievable. They set an NCAA record with 181.5 team points at the event, and they also had 4 individual winners. Josh Barr at 197, Levi Haynes 174, Mitchell Messenbrink 165, and Luke Liddell at 125. They're just as dominant as it comes. I know we've talked about it on the show before that they might be the best modern day sports dynasty that there is. Obviously, UConn women's is up there, but I think you have to put Penn State Wrestling in that conversation too. I mean, 13 100%. Title in 15 years, 5 straight, all these winners, new record, this and that. I mean, they just don't stop. It is truly, truly just unbelievable what they're doing out there in Happy Valley. And honestly, the tournament as a whole was pretty sick. There was a true freshman. I think that it was like the first time a true freshman has won a national title in God knows how long for Oklahoma State. He won it. It was just really, really cool tournament, but we forgot to bring that up last week. That is on us. But Penn State Wrestling, they are the cream of the crop. I don't see anyone taking them down from the throne anytime soon. Another thing I wanted to bring up, which we haven't touched on this podcast much, we have talked about the Rangers briefly. Most people probably don't even know that I'm a Penguins fan that have tuned into the show, which I got to do a better job of getting them somewhere on the desk or behind me. That's completely on me. But the Eastern Conference playoff race in the NHL is absolutely insanity. I think there are 10 teams in the Eastern Conference right now that would be leading the Pacific Division in the West. There are so many teams battling for a wild card spot. It is absolutely ridiculous. The Pittsburgh Penguins keep finding a way to win some games. It'll be real interesting to see what they do. But Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, I feel like everybody wants to see them go on, one more run. But like I said, I mean, East playoff race is absolutely absurd right now.
I mean, yeah, I've got good for your Penguins, I guess. I got no skin in the game right now. If you guys could see it, the Rangers are down in my rankings. They're all the way in the 4th slot, so I really don't have a lot to say about that. However, yeah, the Yankees did make their way up to the top. Yeah, I mean, nothing beats playoff hockey though. Like I watched the Rangers when I watched the Knicks first, and then I'll watch the Rangers if there's really nothing else on TV. But when it comes to hockey and playoff hockey, like something about it, there's a vibe that you get that I don't even understand it, man. It brings a fandom out of you that you didn't know you had. So that's how I feel about the NHL. But I want to circle back to the MLB really quickly. I wanted to mention Murakami, who in his first 3 career MLB games, 3 home runs. Pretty insane. I mean, this is a guy that a lot of people were trying to get, coming out of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they play the Marlins tonight. I'm just eager to see if he can continue this sort of streak. So, I mean, but that's pretty insane. But that's all I really had about the MLB. And, just a great, again, man, like there's nothing like March. I really don't have any words about how amazing it is. Like it's just been an amazing sports month. We've got March Madness. We had the conference tournaments, the NBA starting to heat up, NHL's heating up, and then the MLB season comes back. I mean, we had the Players Championship. We had so many things, like Masters around the corner.
Yeah, Masters are coming up too.
It's a warm day today. Like it doesn't get any better than that.
We might have officially turned the corner on weather. This whole week is supposed to be above 50, 55. Beautiful.
Smile on my face. We did see, we will have a Clubhouse call segment next week. We did see a comment. We are going to give you our Masters picks.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely get to that.
We're not allowed to pick Scotty and Rory, so I'm going to have to think about that. But we definitely did see that comment. That'll be in next week's edition. Yeah, man. I mean, also, we've got the leaderboard for our tournament challenge, which has been, I mean, it's awesome that we got so many people to join. We appreciate all of you guys. But you go ahead and you take a look, and let's read our leaderboard out right now, actually, matter of fact. I'm looking at, I'm actually in 5th place. So we got J Dubs, who's still in first place. He's in the 98.6 percentile. Matty Gukas, I guess he just exploded as well. He's also in that same percentile. He picked Arizona, and then Lucas Granito in the 3rd spot, tied with Vigilante. So
my brackets stink this year. But I don't. That's one of those things that you're just like happy to be wrong about most of the time, because there's probably some upsets and a lot of good games. So yeah, I'm happy. Listen, as long as UConn can bring it home, that's all that matters. If I get the champ right and UConn can bring it home, I'll be happy about that. But we'll see. Final Four Saturday. I believe UConn and Illinois is the first game, 6:09, and then 8:49 is Michigan versus Arizona. I cannot wait to be just
elite hoops. I mean, it's been an elite tournament. It's been great. Like just watching these games. Oh my gosh. Like I love it so much. But no, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like always, man, like we're just going to continue pumping out these episodes, and we love the engagement we're getting online. So we appreciate every single one of you. We're going to shout out our producer back there, Oscar Navarro. But yeah, I'm James Martin III.
I'm Rob Cardini.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next week. Peace.